Welcome to show 62 of the Cloth Diaper podcast. Today's show is with a up-and-coming new cloth diaper brand. I bring you Kristine from Little Fanny Pants. Welcome back to the Cloth Diaper Podcast, the somewhat regular show dedicated to everything cloth diapering. Did I say that fast enough? Anyways, the Cloth Diaper Podcast is all about sharing stories from cloth diaper brands, parents, retailers, and really anyone who has some sort of perspective to share about cloth diapering. My name is Bailey. I'm the host of the Cloth Diaper Podcast, a cloth diaper mama and parent, and I've been cloth diapering and doing this for a really long time. I just got off the phone with my son's teacher because we're talking about grade 1. Like, oh my gosh, how do I have a grade 1er? We've had so many great shows this year, and there's even more to come. Don't be surprised if the show starts to drop every week instead of every other week. If you're not on that email list, go get on the email list, because not only do I tell you when the Cloth Diaper Podcast drop, but other fantastic news and updates like Cloth Diaper Podcast merchandise changes and other fun things. Today's episode of the Cloth Diaper Podcast is sponsored by Nerdy Mamas. Nerdy Mamas is a small cloth diaper business brand. Ooh, that was a saying. That brings the fun of nerdy fandoms to cloth diapering. Nerdy Mama designs are exclusive of Anna's own artwork and creativity. Nerdy Mamas is a focus on education and support for the cloth diaper community and provides a high-quality cloth diaper with a natural fiber insert. Anna has been such a champion of mine, and it's such a pleasure to have her support me. She is somebody that I go to regularly for support and encouragement, and I hope that one day I can meet her. But enough about me loving on Anna, and more about you to go check out her brand. So Nerdy Mamas can be found at www.nerdymamas.com. You can find her on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Check out her diapers. They're amazing. They're everything you want. And thank you, Anna, for sponsoring today's show. All right, so I recorded this episode with Kristine from Little Fanny Pants way back in November now. I'm finally catching up with a lot of really great shows and really great episodes. It was absolutely fantastic to talk to Kristine. I wasn't really aware of all these new up-and-coming brands. I feel like there's so much coming up. I mean, I just did that review with Cutie Patootie Diapers. You can find that review at www.simplymombailey. There's Little Fanny Pants. Next week, we're going to talk to Assembly Baby. Bailey, stop pronouncing that A funny. And we had Crunchy Culture, like all of these incredible people doing incredible things in the cloth diaper community. Gone are the days when we're talking about Bum Genius and Smart Bottoms, and now are the days of all these incredible new mama entrepreneurs. Well, and dad entrepreneurs, because we also had little helpers, and there's other dads in the industry. All these amazing parent entrepreneurs creating cloth diapers and creating incredible spaces. A conversation that we've had this year has been about finding those great safe spaces for you, making sure that you find your community, your people. That might be the people you follow on Instagram, the people you follow on Twitter, but another great place that you can go to look for people and connect with people is brand groups. I joined the Little Fanny Pants Facebook group back in November after I had the show with Kristine, and it's definitely one of my favorite cloth diaper groups. Lots of fun interaction, lots of opportunities to chat, and it's not just wash routines, because I know we've all been a part of those groups where all they talk about is wash routines. And you're like, no, thank you. I want to talk about things like the weather, and I want to talk about what's stressing me out, and I want to talk about what I'm making for dinner. So go check out the Little Fanny Pants group, and without further ado, let's listen to the show.
So my name is Kristine Valdez, and I am the creator of Little Fanny Pants Diapers and Miss Fanny Pants Reusables.
Okay. Where are you based?
We are in Idaho in the United States.
Hey, you're on my side of the continent.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's like trying to figure out where people are and what time of day it is and what all that craziness is. So you have how many children?
I have 3 children, and my kids are older. I have a 17-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 10-year-old.
So you're not cloth diapering?
So I'm not. No.
All right. So then where does this... Tell me about where do you come from? How do you get into cloth diapering if you have a 10-year-old?
I know. So my story started when I had my youngest, Malachi. Mm-hmm. I came home from the hospital, and all of a sudden I was allergic to everything. It was just crazy. So I was trying to figure out what products I can use, and I found out that I was allergic to store-bought menstrual products, which is kind of crazy. But so I started doing research on the internet and found out about cloth menstrual pads. And I was like, oh, what are those, and this, maybe I can use something like that, and I, at the time we didn't have much money. So I was like, I'm going to learn how to make these myself. So, I borrowed my mom's sewing machine and started sewing cloth pads, and they were horrible in the beginning. They were, they were they were just they were usable though.
Yeah. I mostly just think about like my first set of reusable pads that I bought like a decade ago. I bought them off Etsy. They were horrible compared to what I buy now. So much has changed in that entire industry and niche beyond even your personal growth too. Like,
yeah. And it's funny, even though those were horrible, I still have those today, and it's like they're 10 years old now, but they still work amazing.
Yeah, I still.
So I practiced sewing because that's when I learned how to sew. I had no idea how to sew before making cloth pads. So I just practiced on my sewing, and I got better. And then friends started seeing, oh, what's this cloth pad, and there started to be interest. And I found Facebook groups, and I started having requests for custom orders, oh, I want to buy cloth pads. And that just kind of led me into starting my business, Miss Fanny Pants.
Oh, and so you started with cloth pads, and we're jumping into your story somewhere else along the way.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense now. Yeah. I'm just like, where does a mom of a 10-year-old? A lot of times they will have an 18-month-old or some sort of child bouncing on their hips still. So
yeah. And it makes me so sad to think about missing out on cloth diapering my kids, because the cloth diapers, they're so cute, and they're just so much better, and I'm glad to offer them, but I feel like I missed out on that.
So did you just start offering cloth diapers in this last year?
So I opened my shop about 3 years ago, and I opened on Etsy, and I was just in cloth pads, and then I went into making some not reusable undergarments. They're called scrundies. I don't know if you've heard of those. Yeah. And they offered the little kids version. And so I started having customers request that I make trainers. And so I was putting the absorbency in the little trainers for the potty training kids. And then I started having requests for cloth diapers. And I was like, oh, cloth diapers. I don't know if I can make those. And I started doing a lot of research, and so it was the customer's request that led me into the cloth diapers.
Your cloth diapers, though, are they? No, it feels like a stupid question. There are no stupid questions, Bailey. They're not homemade anymore. Are they homemade?
No.
Okay.
No, I've never made the cloth diapers myself. That was something that I thought about it, and I got patterns to do it, and I never did it because I was so busy with my shop, with custom orders and stuff. I just felt like I couldn't take on another product that, it takes a lot of time to make diapers. So yeah, I went into sourcing them, and I wanted to source them here in the United States, but it's not possible.
Yeah, no.
You've heard that a lot.
I've heard that a lot. Yes. It's such a, I hate that I hear that so much. Like, yeah, manufacturing cloth diapers, even manufacturing anything is just like near impossible unless you're setting it up yourself.
Yes. And that was pretty disappointing to find that I couldn't even get callbacks from most people, and finding out you have to have a a huge savings account full of money or set up your own factory or
like I think Thirsties has their own factory themselves. Geffen has their own factory. Like that's so it's a huge investment. You're like one of like a dozen million people who starts their story that way, and then there's not really any choice. People end up just having to go overseas then where there are factories who are willing and excited to work with people.
So I started researching manufacturers overseas, and it was probably a year, maybe more, before I actually launched my product. It takes a long time, to find a factory, and
most brands say like 12, 18 months minimum.
Get samples and just get everything lined up. And I had a hard time finding a factory that I liked. I'm
also
very
another story. Right. Like that's also the other part. Oh man, right? Every time finding a factory that you like, finding somebody who will work with you. What were some things that you were looking for in your factory, if you don't mind?
So I was looking for certifications. I wanted a factory that I looked at some family-owned factories, and I wanted somebody that could. I really was looking for the certifications, honestly. Somebody that had their factories inspected, a company that was open to me having a third-party inspector come in and look at things.
Is that something? Is that a challenge? Like, are factories pretty resistant?
Some factories don't like that. It makes them uncomfortable. And I'm like, okay,
that kind of makes me uncomfortable.
It's something that not everybody does that, but if you get a little resistance when you request that, it's like, oh, okay.
Interesting. I haven't talked about factories in a long time with a brand, actually. So, I have always kind of, it's kind of a weird, cautious question. On one half, I want to totally respect privacy because factory conversations can be pretty cutthroat, like because people are looking for the right factory. They don't want to share too many details about that. But also on the other hand, as a consumer, I'm super nosy. I'm super curious.
I can understand
that process goes. And a lot of brands who've been on the show who have found the right factory, the right factory is like family back to them. Do you find that experience?
Yes. So, I almost gave up, honestly. I was really frustrated because I'm like I said, I'm really picky, sewing myself. I had expectations of things being like, perfect top stitching and just, I had fully inspected everything. And my husband was like, just try, one more. And so the factory that I found, they're amazing. They have, they've really bent over backwards for me and my requests, and they've really gone out of their way to do things for me the way that I want them. And it's nice, you kind of develop a relationship with, the person that you're working with in the factory. So, or their representative, actually.
Yeah. Awesome. So that's been the journey in itself. Hey, so then you've been releasing diapers now for not very long?
No. So we launched in July.
Okay.
And in the middle of a pandemic, of course.
Of course. So much fun.
So that was a challenge in itself. But I actually considered not launching, because of everything that's going on. But I'm like, I'm going to stick to it and we're going to do this.
Okay, so what's in a name, though? I don't know why, this is totally tangent. That's how my brain's working.
So my daughters came up with that name. It was, I came up with Miss Fanny Pants when I opened my cloth pad business. And I never considered kind of adding that into the name. And I was just thinking of just completely different names. And
it works really nicely then.
Yeah, my two daughters were like, "What about Little Fanny Pants?" And I'm like, "Oh, that is cute. I like that." So, yeah, that's where it came from.
All right. Well, that's cute then. That was like a complete tangent, and now I don't even know how to get back on. I was just like, should have asked this question earlier. I was nosy and curious. Names are really fun for me. You never know what's in a name. I'm terrible at naming things, so I don't really. As my podcast is literally just like Cloth Diaper podcast, but some people are really creative.
Though.
What else? It's got strong SEO search. Yeah. Makes you also think about when starting a business. I had asked all these questions about your business, but you've been in business for a long time. You've been doing cloth pads for 3 years now, and you are you still working on that? Is that still a big part of your business?
I am still working on it. I've had to scale back a little bit with just the amount of work that I've had to put into launching Little Fanny Pants and just trying to grow that business. But I still do so. I still do custom orders, and I love doing it. I love sewing. I love creating things, and I don't know if I'll ever stop doing that.
What is the Little Fanny Pant diaper? Can you talk to me about like what kind of options that you sell? I'm going to click this button, but I'm going to see, is it a pocket? Is it a cover? Do you have a little bit of everything? What do you have? Oh, it's a stay dry pocket or all-in-two.
Yeah, so it is an all-in-two pocket. And that was kind of that came about after many testers and talking to customers and kind of what they wanted. And I had considered doing an all-in-one, but I settled on the all-in-two, which I'm happy with. It's got a stay dry lining in it. It's got micro suede, and it's got the front and back pockets with the little tummy flap, and it's got the snaps for you to snap in your insert, or you can tuck it in the pocket. And the inserts I'm pretty proud of my inserts. That was something that took me the longest to find. I really wanted my inserts to be similar to what you would get from like a work at home mom quality insert. And I just wasn't happy with the samples that I received. And so it took me a long time to find a factory that had the quality of inserts that I have.
Sourcing that like a good quality textile, especially a natural fiber textile, it seems to be a challenge for a lot of people as well. You're definitely not the first in that kind of journey. And having seen a lot of inserts come across my desk, there is such a huge range of products out there. Like, who knew?
Yeah. There is, and it's there's like, the really thin bamboo that there's like hardly nothing there, or there's like the really thick stiff one. And I running Miss Fanny Pants, I always buy bamboo cotton, in huge rolls. And so I knew like, okay, this is what I want. And so our inserts, I changed them. So they are the one that comes with the diaper. You can get the diaper with the insert or without it. The one that I include it's the organic bamboo cotton. It's 70% bamboo, 30% cotton, and it is pre-shrunk. They actually wash it and they steam it before they cut it and make it into the insert.
Does that mean when it arrives, it's a little less? Sometimes I get a bamboo insert and it's super yellow and kind of tacky. Does that mean yours are not so tacky? Yeah.
So mine, they're a creamy color, but they're really soft and floppy, and I don't think they're tacky. They don't have that fill to them.
Yeah, sometimes it washes out eventually, but sometimes I get an insert that is like definitely needs to be prepped and like washed in hot water a couple dozen times, and then it really lets go. But that, I'm assuming then, like, that prep process is then very minimal.
So with the first round of inserts that I had, it was the same exact material, everything. It just wasn't the pre-shrunk, pre-prepped insert. And so it was a little bit fluffier, and it was a little bit, had just that slight feel to it. This insert, I'm really proud of it. And it's the hemp cotton comes the same way. They're pre-shrunk. So they wash it and they steam it and then they cut it. And so you're not getting all that shrinkage, and you don't have to prep it 10 times to use it.
And like, kind of cool to think about how that process kind of adjusts, I guess, right? So what has been like one of the biggest, no, I feel like I've answered that question. Where am I going with this? What's one of your favorite things about transitioning into the cloth diaper industry and becoming a cloth diaper brand?
So honestly, choosing all the prints. That has been like, I love it. And my daughters love it. They're like right there with me, finding prints. And I have been able to get some of my custom fabric from Miss Fanny Pants over into Cloth Diapers. So that's been fun.
What influences the prints that you choose? Maybe I should go look at your website here. What kind of prints do you guys lean towards?
I really tried to include gender neutral, and just, if I had my choice, I would do all floral, honestly. I love floral.
They're so much fun. As I see this big, beautiful holly floral. But not everybody loves floral as much as I do.
I tried to kind of include, prints for boys, prints for girls, and just gender neutral. I think all prints can go on all babies, but some parents are like, no.
It's not their mood. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
your daughters help you out in picking those. So that's fun then.
They do.
It's a little bit of a family adventure. It's been one of the hardest things about transitioning, or something maybe you didn't expect about transitioning into the cloth diaper market?
It is really getting the product out there, getting the name out there. Hey, Little Fanny Pants, we exist, we're a good product. It's been hard. I am established in the cloth pad world, Miss Fanny Pants is pretty well known, and coming over into the cloth diaper world is, it's been different, and having now getting into social media and building an audience there. And it's definitely been a challenge. I'm learning, I didn't have to do that with Miss Fanny Pants. So.
Oh, yes. Okay. Growing an audience. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not an easy task at all. No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As somebody on a podcast.
Miss Fanny Pants, I was used to I would just have people coming to me, all day long, hey, can you make me this? Can you make me that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And over here, it's definitely been different.
You never cloth diapered your babies?
No. And I didn't. And it makes me sad.
Do you find that to be a challenge, working with customer support and supporting parents? How do you kind of work your way through that?
It is a little bit, but I do have people that I can refer them to, if they need further information on certain, fit, whatever. But I mean, I could talk materials all day long, but if they're having a fit problem, I have two of my reps that I refer customers to if they really need detailed information.
Gotcha. And that really helps to have like good people in your circle who can support you and your brand in developing that cloth diaper content. Yeah. That's always like the fun thing. It was fun listening to a little bit of your factory story and that adventure there, and your product lineup. What are some of your short and long-term goals, or what is just kind of like the next big goal that you want to achieve with Little Fanny Pants?
Short term, I've been working on new products that I will be releasing next year. So yeah, they've been in the works, and I'm really excited for those, just to give more options to parents, that maybe don't want a pocket diaper. So
guys, the pocket diaper, the all-in-two diaper is a great cover, guys.
It is.
I think so my stash, Nuggles and Baby Boo are probably my two all-in-twos that I used when my babies are not in cloth diapers anymore. And I totally just inserts on top of the microsway, call it a day. It's awesome. Yeah. I always loved how a pocket diaper was like, or an all-in-two system is a little bit more trim in the crotch, I guess, and the bum than a traditional cover, which tends to be a little more fluffy. So you can definitely multi-purpose up an all-in-two system, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you snap it. Do you have front and back snaps, or just front or just back?
We have front and back snaps.
Can the insert fit across the whole width for a full-size baby?
Yes. And that was one of the reasons why I changed the insert to the pre-shrunk insert, because I wanted to eliminate, the most amount of shrinkage I could, so that it fit.
Yeah, I like being able to snap an insert in like that, and then like it's a pseudo all-in-one. And my husband or childcare providers are always like, "Oh yeah, it's so easy. I didn't have to worry about anything." Yes, that is the goal. Thank you. Achieved. Yeah.
So long term, I would like to get Little Fanny Pants into online retailers.
I guess that's the next big adventure.
Yeah. So we're working on it. But we are new, so it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time. Yeah. So where can people find you, shop online, follow you? What's the best place to stay in touch with Little Fanny Pants?
So our website is lfpdiapers.com. All of our products can be found there. And Instagram at LFP Diapers. And then my Facebook group, which I mentioned earlier.
Miss Fanny
we
Pants?
Also have, and then our Facebook page also.
All right, so you can check out Little Fanny Pants everywhere on the web, Instagram, Facebook, as well as their Facebook group, which I already said was a great resource. Little Fanny Pants has gotten some great feedback from across the community. I've been reading some great reviews. So if you try their products, check them out, tag me. I love to hear how your experience has been. Until the next show, thanks for joining me today.